Shalom Mishpaha Yisrael. The riches of Yah rest upon His people, His elect, those that He has called, that He may manifest His promises among. And that is simply the power of His Nabah, His words, is made known in their bosoms, that they personify or make light of the power of Yeshua HaMashiach. And it must be real and sincere in the bosom of Israel. If not, it will produce this fallacious falsism that we tend to walk in. Love, what a great privilege that Yah grants unto Israel, His people. I am resolved, because I realize that there is only a small remnant of the Zirah of Israel. It is somewhat that when we sow seeds here, when we broadcast them, you would think that the seeds would produce. And yet you will find one little spot of seeds whereby the richness of the growth, it has produced much fruit. And then you will find the other one sparse, and one or two plants here, one here. That's the nation of Israel. It is not what we preconceived by our own notions or our own intellect. It is not that way. He has a small remnant. He's going to save. He's going to Yashach. And that is to deliver them, their minds, from the captivity of the bondage of darkness, that they may have the liberty to bring forth the excellence of His Shachar. And that is to worship Him, to express our great love affair with Him, to show the excellence of that in these viable living beings, these vessels that He has granted unto Israel. It's going to be that way and no other way. And if we think as a thief, we will try to enter in as a thief. And many are trying to come up in all kinds of ways. They're trying to enter into the Melchutz. They're trying to enter into the realm of Yah's wisdom, and they cannot, for the door has been shut. Well, I don't believe that. It makes no difference whether you believe it or not. It has no impact as to who He is, what He says, what He has commanded, and what He is going to do. It behooves us that as we have brought these fictitious, phony gifts of offering unto Yah, we have deceived ourselves to make us believe that we are right, and we are not right. We're far from the presence of Almighty Yah, because we know that even in His presence there's the fullness of His Gillah, and in His right hand Yeshua feeds us with the hafetz, the pleasures of Almighty Yah. So what is our delight today? What is the pleasure of our bosom? It has nothing to do with Yah. It is all sensual. It is secular. It is earthly. It doesn't produce nothing but what it consists of, and that is corruption. So we walk corruptly. We act corruptly. We're vile. We are people that's inconsistent with the Most High. We are pretenders. We're not genuine. I must say this to us: we're not going into the kingdom unless there's a thorough purging, a cleansing of the inward parts. Well, I will continue where I left off on last week. But my Ima, I must reiterate something that I did not sense, that I brought the fullness of Istras unto the house of Yisrael. I want to say this, I will, my friend. As I've been reading on the past weeks or so concerning this tremendous atrocity of the defiance of the Torah, the law of Yah, of nature, as we see nations explore beyond the parameters of what Yah has commanded, and they boast in their great feats, their accomplishments. They esteem themselves with this hubris mentality of greatness that personifies their God-likeness. They are not your-like, but they are God-likeness. We know who the God of this world is. It is Hashatan. He is the God of this world. And as we look at this tremendous thing that is happening in Japan, death, and of course you will never get the logistics or a legit story that's coming out. This is how the enemy does. He hides his ruthless behaviors that you will never understand the very nature and the core of his actions. He thinks that he is going to annihilate the earth, but Yah has preserved that. He is going to destroy them that destroy the earth. He has allowed to rise up to this Cassandra, one of the most wicked, damnable, twisted, defiant nations upon the earth. And it is this damn Jezebel that we have birthed ourselves in. We love it. We love those things that are sensual. But he had caused her tentacles to reach into every sphere of the earth. And this thing that is happening there, it's going to happen on these shores. You don't have to buy it. I don't give a damn. I read an article that was very intriguing, that here is a people that have no constitution of any religious divinity. As in this nation, this damn Jezebel says that it is, quote, a Christian nation, unquote. Yet the vileness of her damnable, twisted, thwarted mindset is one of destruction, devilish and wicked. She destroys your sons and daughters. She destroys your mind, your homes. She destroys every damn thing she touches. I was reading this article on those that were in Japan, in Fukushima. Here is where this nuclear reactor is, in Fukushima. There's a group that calls themselves the 50. The population of that group is 200 young men, young women. Just like it was in Chernobyl, in Russia. There were those that were of the first responders. When they went in to try to defuse the reactors, you cannot defuse that. It will literally take 100 years just for the rods to cool. And so the first responders, as it was in the twin whorehouses that went down in New York, many of them plagued with diseases, death, and sickness. And those in Chernobyl, within 30 days, they all were dead. So as I read this article, there was a mother, she was weeping and crying. Her son is a part of what they call the 50, 200 of them. That they were there when the radioactive iodine began to spew with great amounts of devastation and death. And they said to them all, they know that they're going to die within 30 days, within a short period of time. Well, their lives will be wretched with cancerous diseases and death. That's what's wrong with us. You understand? Because we have gone into not the radiance ambering fire of Yeshua, but this death of radiation of our own corrupt poison that spew from the loins of a wicked, a people that's full of rasha. We're criminals, and we don't give a damn. We don't even ponder our criminality. We don't even consider the offense. That's how we offend Yisrael, the body of Yeshua. We don't give a damn. I will, my friend. And so as the mother, I could sense that even my heart with affection because of this human nature. But it's one thing that the heart of Yah is not moved. Now we look at from that perspective on a people that has no constitution of Yah, and yet among Israel, we are the ones that's supposed to have this constitution, and we don't give a damn about him. Even his reproof doesn't correct us. As our Zachin, Rameya Israel, as he spoke unto us concerning this leprous disease as they defied Yah, his ambassador, they repudiated him because they were disgusted with what Yah pronounced unto them. Yet he vented his wrath, his anger, his king resentment. So he sends forth the messenger, the Melech, unto Israel to correct us by his ruach, mishpatim, his judgments. And we defy it. We say, I don't give a damn. You're not speaking to me. Getting back to that article. There's a group of young men and women that are engineers and scientists. That they worked at the plant there in Fukushima. They all are going to die. I was impressed by one thing collectively. They gathered themselves together. And they denounced that we know that our lives, even to this day, in the sense of longevity, fruitfulness, it is vain. We will not even think in the terms of that concept. That is not even the concept of our lives, because it is of a truth we know we're going to die. And it's going to be soon. It is not something that would be protractive. It is a very short span. They're going to die. It is a fact. And they're not going to live long. And so in their mental concept of life and the purpose that they may serve, they all come to one resolution and one conclusion. For the greatness of Japan, for the future ideas of our nation, let us lay down our lives and die, that we may save the populace of this nation that we are beloved unto. Are we as a people trying to save the nation that we as individually and as a nation of people, are we willing to forego our lives for the purpose of the life of Yeshua in our bosom? We don't give a damn. We don't care. We don't give a nickel's worth of rat's ass. I will not retract that. We just don't give a damn. And so I was somewhat moved. I will be misleading to say that it was not impactful upon me, because it was an impact. The mother told a story of her son, that these individuals, 200 of them, they have stayed at Fukushima for the period of time. They sleep on the floor. And she said to my son, he knows he's going to die. She began to weep, the article said. And so what he does, instead of sleeping on the floor, he has begun to sleep on top of his desk. Because the radiation iodine, nothing can prevent its seeping out, its devastation, destruction. He thinks that that will give him somewhat of a longer time, that he cannot even interact with his Ima to embrace, because the iodine in his body is so terribly horrible that anything that he makes contact with will die. And the billions of dollars worth of machinery that will be sent to that nation, you must destroy it, because it cannot be used again. And yet they were willing to give up their life. No greater love than this, that a man will lay down his high, the substance of life, for his re'ach, for his friend, for his neighbor. Yet there are millions of Japanese that will never meet those individuals, but they do know that they are going to die. What is the purpose of leaving this place? To destroy others, whereby we can serve a purpose to save others. We have left the place that Yah has ordained for Yisrael. Our minds are labab. It is controlled by the devious spirits of hell. We have been given a constitution in this nation that tells us we have the liberty to say what we want to. And yet they are poisoning your daughters and your sons' minds by one of the most powerful entities of darkness. They're shaping their minds whereby it is normal for two wicked, vile, twisted men to stick their lashon in each other's mouth in their faith. And the dirty wickedness of young women, lying not like a beast, that which is vile, wicked, and so unclean, that our minds lay in the cesspool of such darkness, such filth and wickedness, even in the spiritual realm, Yisrael. We don't see our blatant defiance and the sickness that is in us, because we have brought gifts to Yah. And they were tempered with your deceitful falseism. And we think we've gotten by. We brought these old vessels that should have been refreshed by the yayin of Yah, the wines of his press. And that was the most valuable wine from the first press, the yayin. The wine that was fresh. The wine that would refresh the inward parts of a man. And so the power of his Torah being renewed in the mind of Yisrael, it doesn't refresh us at all. So we constantly come back in the same old vibes, offering the same damn things. And Yah says, you're not tricking me. You're not getting by. And we literally think we're getting by. That's how wicked, that's the kind of criminal mentality that we have. The leaders of that nation, Japan, Russia, Chernobyl, they're ruthless tyrants of tyranny and deceit, as in this nation, our illustrious president that just received the Nobel Peace Prize, and this damn wicked child birthed out of the dungeons of hell dropped bombs on a nation, whereby the people rose up against the nation. I ask you a question. We saw what happened in Wisconsin when the people rose up. Did not the nation, the state of Wisconsin, bring in the forces to subdue it? You think that this nation is going to rise up And this country is not going to try to subdue it. When they rose up in Los Angeles, California after the Rodney King episode, did they not crush that? You think that they care for these little brown people of the world? They don't give a goddamn. I say it that way. They care about the riches to rob, to steal from the people, to take advantage of them, to bring them as subservient unto their damnable wicked cronyism, to destroy them. They don't give a damn. It's going to take that kind of vernacular for this damn wicked generation. Damn every God. I stand in judgment of the Most High then. Yet this most illustrious president that dropped bombs on a nation, and then he begins to arm the nations. Yet in other nations of conflict, for all the years of the apartheid system in South Africa, brutally oppressing a people, reduced them down to a shell of a people. Their babies die and the men sent off to far places to work, to try to drop bread. And yet this damn Jezebel supported the apartheids, the IBMs of the world, supported the system of the Afrikaners, the damn hubris pride. They were not say that they were Africans, but they were Afrikaners. You don't have to hear me. I don't give a damn. Where were the arms of America on one of the most brutal systems on the face of the earth? To brutalize, to dehumanize, to rob, to kill, to exploit a people. Where were the damn presidents at that time? Why they did not drop bombs on them? When that little weakling of a man, David Koresh, rose up out there, they dropped the bombs on him and they crushed him. Some of you all are too young to remember the movement in Baltimore, Maryland, when they had this Negroid as a mayor, Gooden. I recall this as a young individual. I watched it as they dropped the bombs on them, baby, and burned them, their babies, their wives, their children. They burned them to smithereens. They consumed blocks of a neighborhood when they dropped the bombs on that people. Where was the cry among Congress, the senators, the executive branch of our government? Where were the cries? There was not one damn cry at all. I watched that when they rammed that tank into the side of those 60, 70 people of David Koresh. I watched that. And I said, what dirty bastards, mamzia. They have no spiritual light. We as a people, we have become immersed and blinded. As Zachin Bidimi was praying with the cares of this life and the deceitfulness of the damn tarnished riches, that it has literally choked out the viability of consciousness of the Torah of Almighty Yah. Everything that we attend to, it has to be our fleshly, lustful, driven appetite that's going to take you down into the gates of hell, Yisrael. You don't have to buy it. And I frankly do not give a damn whether you buy it or not. We need the strong voice of Yah to stand and to declare his Musa'ol of his counsel. We as Yisrael, that we, with all of our pretense, we pretend we love him with our faith, but we don't give a damn. We speak from this little thing that cannot be tamed, this lotion. Lotion. It is a shame. And yet we speak blessings. We speak ara, curses. We speak chala, damnation, and curses out of the same little damn thing. Why? Where does it come? It comes from your love. It comes from the cesspool of wickedness. So if your heart is not established in Iman, how do we think we're going to offer unto Yah that which is acceptable and pure? And so that's why he commands us to begin to search our be'ats, our homes, in the physical, and above all in the spiritual sense. That we allow the light of Torah, for his Torah is the light, to shine and to show us everything that is offensive. Those things that we continue to do, operate in, and we have no regard for the Most High. I say to us, Yisrael, the day of Rakan has come. Not that it is coming. It has come. And everything that is not of Yah, he's pruning with a deep cut. He's cutting off mama and daddy and sons and daughters, kinsmen and grands and nieces, nephews, you and husband, wives. He's cutting them all off. For it is the power of his pruning shear. His Torah is powerful. It is very sharp. Sharper than any two-edged swords. It is the cutoff. And he is cutting off the branches that produce no fruit at all. And as we come to this Pesach, we must examine your own bosom and see whether you are producing peri fruits. Are we just a bunch of twisted, damn superficial hypocrites that takes no delight in Torah? My tefillah to Yah, raise up the Nabi, the prophet, that speaks to one nation, his nation, as he shall raise up the witnesses of great power and truth, that their bodies shall lie in the streets of Yerushalayim for 3 days and 3 nights, like Yeshua. And then the same ruach, we can never get to that understanding. We allow the spirit of death to permeate in our minds, and the same ruach that raised Yeshua up, it shall raise them up in the presence of all of this vileness and wickedness. That is why we need a Nabi today, a prophet. I'm not talking about these damn twisted juveniles. I'm not talking about those that their minds are not even prepared. They don't even show an affinity of Yah's Ahab. There are those that may think that I am brutal and cold. I am brutally honest. And I do it with forthrightness. You're not going to sit here this Shabbat, and as you leave, you feel comfortable in your own resolve. That will not be if I am preaching. I shall. Todah. The mind of man has corrupted everything that it has touched. That's why we need the mind of Yeshua, that the Torah can be understood, and the light and the power of that brought to center focus of our lives. We'll focus on every damn thing but Yah. Above all our wicked driven motives that are corrupt,